Well, look, I admire Ian Bremmer. The G0 formulation is a good one and good for marketing, his book in particular. And I think he has a point in that it is much more difficult in 2012 for one country or one small group of countries to manage certainly the global economy and maybe other elements of global endeavor. But I do think he's a little gloomy about the G20. The G20, which brings together, the major advanced economies of Europe, North America, and Japan, together with the large emerging markets, China, India, Brazil, and a few others, is the forum that does attempt to generate cooperation on the economic challenges that confront all of us. And it was very successful in the wake of the 2008-2009 financial crisis in agreeing on joint action to address that crisis. Over time, it's since the crisis has abated, or at least appears to have abated, and we'll see whether it's really gone yet. It has been obviously more difficult to reach agreement on that kind of joint decisive action. But I still think the conversation is very important. I think that bringing together these countries who haven't in the past had a habit of working together, it does help to develop so-called habits of cooperation. And then there's some very specific stuff going on within the grouping that I think would not otherwise go on without the political guidance from the G20. For example, the work on financial regulatory reform, which sounds very wonky and technical, but actually is some of the issues that lie at the heart of the original financial crisis, and there are serious efforts underway within the G20 to try to put in place policies that will prevent that action. And so the cooperative efforts there at that level are actually very important. So I understand Ian's point of view. I think it's true that there is not going to be a world for the foreseeable future in which one country or 7 countries, as in the case of the G7, can make all the big decisions. The G20 is not going to be like that, but I still think it's an important vehicle for bringing countries together to talk about shared challenges and try to find the maximum effort or ability to cooperate in these important areas. So I'm still a believer in the G20 and think it still plays a part in the world.